video classes. So in the previous video we have started the topic prepositions, and in this video we are going to conclude our chapter. So in the previous video we have seen the definition and usage of prepositions, and in this video we will see that what are some more places where we can put prepositions or where prepositions can be used, and then we see that what are some errors that we commonly commit while using the prepositions. So all that we will discuss in this video. So watch till last so that you can know prepositions entirely. Okay, so after this our only two topics would be remaining for the half yearly, that are conjunctions and determiners. Then our grammar course is finished. In the next video I will complete your grammar course, and then we will move ahead to the literature. Only three more topics of literature are remaining, one poem and two chapters from Beehive and Moments. So that also we will complete, and in this video we are going to end our topic prepositions. We have studied prepositions in detail. Now we are going one step ahead, and we will see that what are the uses of certain prepositions, the prepositions that we use commonly. Okay, few prepositions are there which we use in our day-to-day life or which come in our sentences quite often. Okay, so let's see use of certain prepositions. Now we have first of all at and in. So we will see that where to use at and where to use in. So here see, at is used for small places. Okay, at is used for small places or a point of time, a specific point of time. So at is used for small places or a particular point of time, to show some particular point of time. While in is used for countries, in is used for countries. So both at and in is used to indicate some countries, is used for countries, sorry, not countries, places, but at is used for small places and in is used for large places or big cities, big countries. Okay, so in is used for countries, large places or period of time. Okay, here we have a point of time. At is used for a specific point of time, that at this certain point of time, at 5 o'clock, at 4 o'clock. Okay, but while in is used for a period of time, I will come in a few days, I will come in the evening. Okay, such uses are there of in for a period of time, means a longer period of time, while at is used for a specific point of time. So here see a few examples. He lives at Kusumkheda in Halwani. Okay, see, Halwani is a large city, is a big place, so you will use in. While Kusumkheda is the specific place where he resides. Suppose he resides at Uchapul. He lives at Uchapul in Halwani. He lives at Connaught Place in New Delhi. Okay, he lives at Marine Drive in Bombay. Okay, so all that large places we put in, and for indicating some small place or a particular place, a specific place where one is residing, we use at. Okay, so wherever a small place is there, always put at, because you are specific about the place, you know that he lives there only. While for big cities, you don't know where in the big city, so you always put in the big cities. Okay, so in is used for large cities, at is used for small places. And second use, the bus will arrive at 7 o'clock. See, at use that it is used for a point of time, for a specific point of time. So the bus will arrive at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Okay, and I shall return in a week. I shall return in the morning. For a period of time where the time is not specific, you will always use in. And for the small places or a specific point of time, you will use at. Okay. So you can understand by this that wherever some small things are there, small place, small time, you will always put at. Okay. Wherever, while indicating some large places or a period of time which is larger than a point of time which is not specific, you will use in for the large countries, large places, or the larger period of time. So these are the two uses of at and in. And what is the difference between their uses? I have explained. So now we will move ahead to some other prepositions that we use often in our day-to-day life. Okay, so let's move ahead. Here is the second preposition that we commonly use. There are two prepositions. We will compare their use and let's see. By and with. By and with. Okay, so these two sounds very similar. Okay, so see what their uses are. By is used with the doer of the action. By is used with the doer of the action. So what is the doer? Doer is the person who performs the action. Okay, in Hindi we call it karta. Okay, doer is someone who performs the action. Okay, so whenever we have to use by, it will be used only with the doer. Okay, the one who is performing the action, while with is used before the instrument of the action. So instrument here doesn't always means object. Instrument means the person who is receiving the action. There are two parts of a sentence, the subject and the object, or the predicate we see. Okay, so the one who is receiving the action, we always put with before that. How? See, the example, he was elected monitor by the class. So, with the class will not be here, it will be by the class. Why? Because the class is performing the action. He was elected monitor by the class. Okay, he was elected monitor by the class. He was elected monitor by the teacher. Okay, the one who is performing the action, we always put by before it. Okay, now see the second example. A ditch was dug by him with an axe. Okay, a ditch was dug by him. Here see, he is performing the action, so we will use by, and the instrument of action is the axe, with an axe. Okay, so we will put with. Okay, so here the object is the axe, but in case we say that he was coming with us. See, he was coming with us. Okay, he was coming with us. So here by us will not be here because he is not performing the action, but we are not performing the action, but we are receiving it. He is the one who is performing the action. Okay, so who is in the receiving end? Who is the instrument in the action? Us. So we will put with before it. Okay, so these are the uses of by and with. By is always put before the doer, the one who performs the action, and with is always put before the instrument of action. Okay, the object of the action or the receiving person in the sentence. Okay, so these are the use of by and with, and these are very commonly used prepositions. So now it is clear. Now we will move ahead to the other preposition. Then we have to do the errors of students. Okay, the error that students commit. So we will see that, and then our chapter will conclude here. So now we have some more prepositions that we see in our day-to-day life. And we have around 10 such prepositions, 10 or 12. We will complete all those in this video itself. And now look at these prepositions. In and into. Okay, watch very carefully. In is used with verbs. In is used with verbs expressing rest. Okay, expressing rest of the thing or whatever. So in is used with verbs expressing the rest, while into is used with verbs denoting motion. Okay, action and motion are different. How? Motion is when we are performing some action in present. Okay, so the motion of the car maybe. Okay, so see, in is used with verbs expressing the rest, the whatever is left, and while into is used with verbs denoting the motion. Example, there was no oil in the lamp. Okay, rest of the oil. Okay, there was no food in the kitchen. There was no one in the room. There was no rooms left in the hotel. Okay, so in is used to denote rest, while into is used for verbs denoting motion. Example, he jumped into the river. Okay, motion is shown here. He jumped in the river is wrong. We use into the river because here motion is shown. He jumped into the river. Okay, now see, pour some water into the jug. Pour some water into the jug. Okay, again motion is shown. Pour, the action of pouring the water. Pour some water into the jug. So again we will not use in and we will use into. Okay, now see, between and among. It is a very confusing preposition. These are two very confusing prepositions, between and among. Okay, so between is used for two persons or things. Okay, wherever there are two persons or things, we will use between. And where are the number of things are more than two, then we will use among. So wherever there is a sentence when you have to use between and among, keep in mind that the number of persons or things are two or more than two. Okay, so example, distribute these sweets among children. Okay, distribute these sweets among children. Children are more than two. We are saying about a lot of children. Okay, between children will not come here. So among children. Now see the last. There was some problem between the two. Here we are specific about two persons, so we will use between. There was some issue between Rahul and Raj. There was some issue between Rahul and Raj, so we will use between and not among. There was a fight among the students, not between the students, because there are a lot of students involved. Okay, there was a fight between Rohit and Raj. Okay, so these are the examples to understand between and among better, and in and into I have already explained. So we will now move to some other prepositions, and I hope the doubts are clear about using prepositions. Watch the videos very carefully and make your notes on the basis of my explanation. Okay, these are very important topics: prepositions, conjunctions, determiners. Why? And why we are doing some specific prepositions? Because in exam, in editing or gap filling, these comes specifically. You will have these in the bracket and you will have to use one out of the two. Maybe beside and besides will be given in the bracket and you will have to put the right one. So if you know where to put the right one, your marks will never be deducted. So let's see few more prepositions which we use in our day-to-day life. Okay. So here we have few more prepositions that will come in your exam definitely, and these have the highest chances of coming because in sentences these are used quite often. In a sentence, several things can be asked. Maybe you have to change the tense of the sentence. The sentence may be in the wrong tense. You have to put the right one. Okay, the verb you have to change. But maybe preposition can also be there in the sentence that you have to correct. Okay. Now see, beside and besides. It is a very common thing that that comes in your boards also. Okay. You will have the blank, and in the option you will have beside and besides. You get confused Really, a lot of students commit this mistake of beside and besides. So watch it very carefully and make a note in your notebook. Make the notes of all the prepositions, okay, and put a star on this topic. Use of certain prepositions. So beside and besides. Here very carefully. Beside means by the side of. Okay, beside means by the side of. Besides means in addition to. When we are adding something to our sentence, okay, when we are adding something to our speech. Beside means by the side of, and when we put s in it, beside means by the side of. Besides means in addition to. See the example, you will understand better. The tree stood beside the house. The cat was playing beside the house. Okay, so beside, by the side of a place. Okay, besides, now besides being fined, the boy was turned out. In addition to, he was fined for some crime, but he turned out. Besides being fined. Besides being a good boy, he is always notorious. Okay, so in addition to, besides being a good boy, he is notorious. The boy was playing beside the garden. Okay, so beside and besides. Beside by the side of, besides in addition to. Okay, got it? So this mistake I hope you will not commit now. Now we have after and in. After expresses some period of time in past. This is a very common error that we all do, and in the error part of the video I will discuss this and we will see few more errors. But here we have after. After expresses some period of time in the past, while in expresses some period of time in future. When we are talking about the future, see the example, you will understand better. I started after a week. Okay, we are talking about the past, that we started something in the past. I started not in a week. Okay, I started in a week means it is wrong, because with past we can never use in. I started after a week. He came after a few days. He came in a few days is wrong. He came after a few days. So it is easy. You will put after, I know, in this kind of sentences. Here we don't commit mistake. I started after a week. He came after a few days. Now the place that we are going to talk, here a lot of students commit mistake. He will come in a few days. What we say? He will come after a few days. So this we generally use in our day-to-day speech, in our day-to-day life, but it is wrong. He will come in a few days. After a few days is always wrong, because we are talking about the future. The bus will arrive in 5 minutes. The bus will arrive after 5 minutes is wrong. The bus will arrive after 5 minutes. After 5 minutes is wrong. The bus will arrive in 5 minutes. Okay. So, I hope you have got it. What you have not to do and what error you will not commit. Now we have since and for. Since denotes point of time for a period of time. Okay. For is used for a period of time, while since denotes a point of time. This we have discussed previously also with some other prepositions. So here we have since. Since denotes point of time and for denotes a period of time. See the example. He has been playing since 5 o'clock. Okay, he has been playing since 5 o'clock. We are specific about the time. So we are talking about a point of time since 5 o'clock. He has been playing for an hour. Since an hour is incorrect. For an hour. When we are talking about a period of time. For an hour, for a month, for an year. Okay, for a year. And he has been playing since 25 minutes. Okay, since 5 o'clock. So this is a very important thing that you have to keep in mind while we are talking about a particular point of time, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we will use since. While we are talking about a period of time, 3 hours, 3 months, 2 months, okay, then we will use a few days, we will use for. So these were a few more prepositions. Now we will discuss some more, then we will come to our error section. But keep watching the video properly, don't skip the video, because these will come definitely in your exam, and if you will make proper notes and go through them properly, then you will have no problem in your boards as well. And I am sure that one of you will be able to score 100 out of 100, because we generally commit mistakes in the grammar section, and if you know these, then it is very easy for you to get the full marks. Okay, so these are the last two prepositions that we will study, and after this we will move to the last part of your video, that is the error in prepositions. Then we will conclude the chapter. And exercises we are not doing in this chapter, and we will not do with other chapter also, because the exercises come in the form of gap filling and editing that we will do together. Okay, of all the topics that we have done, tenses, prepositions, conjunctions, subject-verb agreement, models. So we will do gap filling and editing together of all the chapters, and because it comes in this form only, you will have the sentences and you can put anything in that. Okay, you can be asked to put anything out of your course. So we will do it together. I will send you the exercises in PDF form, and you will solve those exercises once our grammar topics are finished. So with the determiners video, the last video of your grammar course for the half yearly, I will provide you the PDF of gap filling and editing that you have to do in your pair grammar notebooks. So let's see the last part of your chapter, the last two prepositions. Okay, so we have before and for. Okay, so before is used to denote point of time. For is used for period of time. Okay, you have understood what point of time is and what period of time is. So see the example. I shall be there for an hour. So here the period of time is there, an hour. So we will put for. And here we have the second sentence. I shall be there before 5 o'clock. So we will use before here. Okay. Now the last preposition, it is very important. Here also you commit a lot of mistake. On and upon. Okay, on and upon. See the use. On is used in speaking of things at rest. Okay, on is used while we are speaking about the things which are at rest, while upon is used for the things in motion, while the things are moving. Okay, see the example. He sat on a chair. He sat upon a chair is wrong. He sat on a chair because it is at rest. It can't move. While the other, see, the dog sprang. The dog jumped upon the car. Jumped on the car is wrong. So you will put upon the car because the car is in motion. So where to use on? When the things are at rest. Where to use upon? When the things are in motion. So these were a few prepositions that we discussed. I hope you have got every preposition that I have mentioned in my video. If you have any confusion, you can always ask, and make your notes on the topic prepositions. It will be very handy for you in order to do the exercises of gap filling and editing. Okay, so we will move now to the last part of your video, the error in prepositions. Then our chapter is over. So let's move ahead to error. We are now concluding our topic with some errors. I have written on the board 8 of those, and there are 44 in my book. Maybe you will have more. If you will search in some books, you will find more. But the book that I go through, the book that I have been using since my school days, has 44 of those errors that we commonly commit. So I will send the picture of rest of the errors to you through your WhatsApp group. But here we will see the 8, and the rest you have to learn I will provide you all the errors, okay, from my book. So now we have the 8 errors here. I am angry upon him. I am angry by him. We often say that. Okay, I am angry upon him. I am angry on him. I am angry by him. Okay, but the right use of the preposition here would be I am angry with him. So this is an error that we often commit. Okay, so this you must keep in mind whenever you are talking about someone, that I am angry with him, with her. Okay. Second error, he took revenge from me. We often say this, he is taking a revenge from me. Okay, he is doing this because he wants to take a revenge from me. But what is correct? He took revenge on me. He is taking a revenge on me. Okay, so it is the right usage. Third, Noor Jahan was married with Jahangir. So we say that she was married with him. She was married to him. Okay, the right use is to him. Noor Jahan was married to Jahangir. Jodha was married to Akbar, not with Akbar. Okay. Fourth, I begged him a favor. I begged a favor from him. This can also be correct, but here I begged of him a favor. I begged of a favor from him. Okay, I begged him a favor is wrong. I begged of him a favor. Next, the boy fell in the well. The boy fell in the ground. The boy fell in the ground is right. The boy fell in the well. Here we are saying that he fell inside the well. So what will be here? The boy fell into the well, into the river. Okay, wherever we are saying that he fell inside something, we will use into. Next, he sat under the shade of a tree. We often say this. He is sitting under the shade of a tree. Under the shade. Okay, but under is always wrong. What we have to say? He sat in the shade. In the shade of a tree. Okay, so you will never use now under. You will always use in. Now see, this house is superior than mine. We say this while walking in the road. Look at that house. This house is superior than mine. This shirt is superior than mine. But what is the correct use? This house is superior to mine. Okay, wherever you are comparing the things, you will use to. Now see, distribute the apples to the boys. This we have discussed. Distribute the apples between the boys. So what will be here? Among the boys. Okay, when we are talking about a large number of people, we will use among. Okay, when we are talking about particular two persons, distribute this sweet between Rohan and Sohan. So we will use between. When we are talking about a large number of people, a group of people, we will use among. So these were the 8 errors that we have seen in our video. There are total 44 that I can provide you, and I will provide all of that to you. And if you want to search some more, you can see for a good grammar book. Wren and Martin is a very nice book that is used for understanding grammar. I have a different book. I have Wren and Martin also, but I will provide you from that book which I have studied during my boards. So I will provide you the 44 errors, and if you will go through them, you will have a different vocabulary altogether. Whenever you are speaking in day-to-day life, your speaking skill will improve thoroughly. So I hope you have liked my video. I hope you have understood prepositions. We will further study conjunctions and determiners. Then we will come to the exercises, gap filling and editing that comes in your boards, that will come in your 9th exams also. So we will complete our topic of grammar, the topics of grammar by gap filling and editing, that will be provided in the form of a PDF. After that we will complete our literature course. But for now, this much is what I can offer to you. So this was the prepositions. Note them down in your fair notebook, and we will meet again soon.